Encore inconnu il y a un an, Jeff Schroeder est le nouveau guitariste des Smashing Pumpkins aux côtés de Billy Corgan et Jimmy Chamberlin. Quelques heures avant son concert à Bercy, il nous a invités à le suivre sur la scène, aux grandes dames de son tour manager, pour nous présenter son matériel.
Because, people know that, Billy writes most of the material and he played most of it on the records, and his style is extremely unique. Like the way he picks, the way he frets, the attack. And so even though some of it sounds like a simple riff, but to play it correctly is really hard because he's so unique in his style. So that took me a while to get kind of like the Pumpkins thing down, to make it sound like Pumpkins, because I think that's one of the unique things about the band, even though there's really not a lot of people that can sound like him, which is, he's very unique in that way. So to do that, it's like that was kind of step one, and now I feel a little more comfortable, kind of got a lot of the Pumpkin motifs down and like a little of the techniques. Now it's grown into something where I'm definitely able to play like my own, like who I am into the Pumpkins, but it's definitely something that's evolved.
Yeah, I'm using the Randall Art, I guess they call it the MTS series, the modular series. They're 100 watt heads these have 606 power tubes, and this version has 3 modules that you can interchange. And so for the clean, I use their Tweed. Kind of for the medium gain stuff, I use the SL Plus, which is kind of a Marshall Super League thing. And then the high gain is their Randall's own Ultra XL. And so I'm actually, even though I have 3 heads in the rack, usually only run 1 at a time. And this one down here, we have actually the George Lynch, Mr. Scary, but that's only used for very special occasions. For the rack, we have, it's actually not as complicated as it looks. It's basically based around a Voodoo Labs or GCX loop system, and so all the pedals are in loops, and we have, like this is a Nova wah pedal, just like a fixed wah, you get that kind of a Michael Schenker UFO kind of lead sound, and then this is just a booster, Eddie Van Halen flanger, Analog Man chorus. This is kind of the secret weapon here. My tech, Jason Baskin, made this overdrive. He's a kind of a genius guitar guy, so he's able to just put it together, and it sounds really good with this rig. And then Voodoo Lab microvibe and the whammy pedal. TC Electronics, G major, which I just use mostly for like bigger delays, and I use it in the effects loop so I can run it post the high gain distortion. And then the Korg SDD 2000, which I run actually in front of the amp for more of the ambient YouTube kind of stuff. Not using the high watt tape echo right now. And then also for a noise gate, I use the Alesis compressor. It's actually, so it's not really that complicated of a setup, but it just allows me the flexibility to turn all the pedals off and on at the pedal board and make wholesale changes. So it's actually pretty simple, but it works really well. Randall amps are awesome. Yeah. Super consistent sound. And with the Pumpkins, it's actually, you got to be able to go from clean, delay, kind of ambient sounds to high gain metal. And so these amps with the modular system, it works fantastic because I'm able to really design my own tones. I'm using 2 Randall 4x4s. I only use 1 tonight, only 1, and they just have Celestion Vintage 30s.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. Their cabinets really sound great with these heads, and because they really dial in the low end. It's very focused. You can really handle pushing that much low end, but it still sounds really tight, which is important when you're playing. When you're doing like really heavy muted stuff, you really want that tightness.
Yeah.
So it sounds. I mean, they're really, really fantastic heads. I can't say enough good things about them. The main guitars I'm using are mostly Gibson Les Pauls and SGs. For my main E-flat guitar, which we play actually most songs E-flat, is Gibson Les Paul Classic, which is based on like kind of a 60s model style neck. It's a lighter wood than the custom, so it has kind of a kind of a little bit brighter, snappier sound than the regular Les Paul custom. Then the main guitar for drop D tuning is the Les Paul Black Les Paul custom. And then for C sharp, actually the whole guitar is tuned down to C sharp by using the regular Gibson SG. And then here and there for some cleaner stuff, I use the Fender Strat and the Fender Jazzmaster. All the Fenders have Lawler pickups in them too, because they're mostly kind of vintage replicas, but they sound way warmer. They take away the kind of the harsh top end that you find in a lot of Fender pickups. So it just warms it up a bit, but they don't sound radically different. I actually used to always play Fender, and so this is like I've had this guitar for like 12 years. My old Jazzmaster, I used to play it a lot. Actually this Telly too, but I still use them here and there. Yeah, so I actually wasn't much of a Gibson player before, but now, kind of once you go there, it's really, really good. I really love playing it. So yeah, this is the classic, and actually this we put in Lawler pickups, the Lawler Imperial pickups, and these are fantastic pickups. They actually they sound really, really clean and really wide, which is because with these random amps they have so much gain, I don't need to get any gain from the pickup. And so the combination of this pickup through that amp, you get, even though you have all the gain, but you still have a lot of clarity. So this guitar is really good sounding, so I'm really happy.